Vasudev filled in the king about how Vinayak had met him and tried to lure him in his stride. Bharadwaj was dismayed to learn how corrupt a minister was Vinayak. He immediately called for the minister and gave him an opportunity to speak the truth before making his next move. When Vinayak refuted all that Vasudev had revealed to the king, Bharadwaj demanded an explanation for the remiss in his duty. Vinayak faltered for a satisfactory answer, and after much reluctance, gave way to his culpability. He and his associates used only part of the funds for road repairs, diverting the rest for personal gain. He also blurted out the names of the others who were involved in this scandal. Bharadwaj subjected them to rigorous imprisonment, besides imposing a hefty fine on them. Later the king spoke his mind with Vasudev.
It was my mistake. I should have kept a check on the activities of my ministers. With no one to question them for their actions, these ministers did as per their liking and deceived the people. It is better late than never, Maharaj. At least now, we have been able to expose their true colors. At that very moment, when Vinayak tried to bribe me, I could have shown him the door. I knew if I showed resentment, they wouldn't let me live to tell you the truth. Thus, I kept them guessing about my next move, which I used to my advantage. Well done, Vasudev. I am proud of you. You have set a perfect example for others to follow in your footsteps. From today, you shall also be known as Satyan. Your very name will give people a glimpse of your virtuous character. Thank you, Maharaj. I am honored.
King Bharadwaj took charge, restoring the districts ruined by misrule and corruption. Vasudev and his men ensured the king's schemes reached the people, leading them to prosperity. They also recognized talent and enlightened the people the need for education. Bharadwaj also formed panchayats in villages who could cater to the welfare and grievances of the people. With the help of Vasudev and his aides, the king closely monitored its functioning to ensure its efficiency. When Vasudev told him of the people's praise, the king swelled with pride. One day, when both the king and Vasudev were engrossed in a discussion about the kingdom, a messenger sought an audience. His king was going to conduct the Swayamvar of his princess in a fortnight, for which Bharadwaj was cordially invited. The king made arrangements for the messenger to rest a while in the palace. Seeing the king least excited at the news, Vasudev decided to take up this matter with him.
Maharaj, please do not get offended if I ask you something. I won't feel bad no matter whatever you ask, Satyan. Please speak up your mind. I have heard that you are not getting married on purpose. Why, my lord? Who told you about this, Vasudev? When you employed me as a cook, I had heard this from one of my colleagues. Besides, when a person does not get married despite coming of age, rumors are bound to spread. Anyway, all that is immaterial. I want to know if there is truth involved in what I have heard in this regard. Years ago, my father conducted a yagna in the palace, which was attended by several renowned saints. One among them was sage Pradyumna, who had a very inelegant personality. Although I had attained manhood, I was still very mischievous and childish at that time. I constantly used to refer the sage as monkey in my mind. Once he was engaged in some talks with my father in his chamber. I was sitting beside them, but did not pay heed to what they were discussing. I was only observing the face of the sage and called him monkey in my mind. After he had left the chamber, I could not resist my temptation of expressing my mind to my father.
Father, does not that sage look like a monkey?
But my timing of that comment was awfully wrong. Pradyumna had certainly walked out of the inner chamber where all of us were seated. But he had still not passed the main hall of that chamber, and he heard what I said. Within moments, he was back in our chamber, fuming with rage.
This is how you respect your elders! Is this what you were taught in Gurukul? You have a very high opinion about your own look, that you talk ill of others' appearance. One day you will become so ugly that everyone would look upon you with abhorrence, and you'll start despising yourself. This is my curse to you.
Luckily, no one except the guards who were on vigil outside the chamber heard about Pradyumna's curse. My father rebuked me and later instructed the guards to abstain from telling anyone what they had heard. My father was already worried about my negligence, and this curse only deepened his concern. Both of us met the sage and pleaded him to take back the curse. Initially, he was unrelenting, but later he asked us to return in a few days to him. With his spiritual powers, he decided to foresee if there was any chance of my liberation from the curse. When we returned after some days, he informed us a vital aspect he had discovered through his yogic powers.
O Prince, in a few years you would come across such a youth who wants to mend his evil ways and lead a reformed life under very strange circumstances. Keep that youth with you, as he will liberate you from the curse.
The sage was unaware as to how the youth would accomplish it and asked me to wait patiently till I meet him. We thanked the sage and requested him not to mention this curse to anyone. If my father met with an untimely death, it was due to his apprehension about this curse. My mother had died that same year due to prolonged illness, and now at his demise, the world came crashing down for me. I too was worried about my future. Whenever I was invited for any Swayamvar, I did not feel it appropriate to attend the occasion. If I reveal this curse, her parents may refuse the match, or the princess may herself turn away from me. After all, who would like to marry a cursed king like me? Which parent would wed their daughter to one doomed to lose all charm and be shunned by all? Although I could marry keeping this a secret, it would be a great injustice to the bride. Thinking in these terms, I did not attend any Swayamvar, but a discerning thought always perturbed me. If this continues, how will I ever get an heir to the throne? As I could not get any solution to resolve this impasse, my worries only increased. It was mainly due to this that I often remained confined to the four walls of the palace in dejection. Then came a glimmer of a hope in the form of you, Satyan.